Khan, Shalom. First and foremost, want to give all praises to the Most High, call Halor Yahweh, Ba'ashim Mashiach Yahushai. And I just want to go into, the importance of the Most High's favorite, right? His favorites and why it's necessary that his favorites go through what they go through in this life, in this realm, right? And you can go to the book of Second Esdras, the 5th chapter, right, to basically meditate on these questions that we might have as Israelites, because the Bible has all the answers. And I feel bad for people who don't substantiate the Apocrypha or give it its credit that it's due, because the Apocrypha has a lot of answers in it, right? And the KJV substantiates the Apocrypha, right? As the book of Ezra goes into Esdras, 1st and 2nd Esdras, and as well as other books going to 1st and 2nd Esdras, right? Genesis goes into it. You name it, right? So let me start at I'm gonna start at Let me start at 1. 2nd Esdras 5:1. Nevertheless, as coming the tokens, right, the rewards, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in a great number, and the ways of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. So this is referring to the last days, right? Which 2nd Peter goes into that as well, which substantiates this text, right? And it was something that I wanted to get. Verse 6, right? And even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. Who is it that people look not towards that dwell upon the earth? It's only the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? I'm saying, like, just walking down the street, if you're seen by that of another nation, they literally turn their head as fast as they can, right? Most of the time because they're intimidated by you, right? Or they look down upon you, especially if you are black, Hispanic, or Native American with some size on you. They not trying to look your way, right? Because they're taught in their culture that we're wild beasts, pretty much. We're untamed. We have no discipline. You can't talk to us. You can't even look our way. You can't step on our shoe because we're gonna go crazy on you, right? But this is something that the Most High's favorites have to go through, right? But it reads, even he shall rule whom they look not for that dwell upon the earth. So that's telling you it cannot be this fake Jewish man that's in Israel today, right? Because he's looked for, right? When it comes to media, when it comes to music, he owns all of these things. So it definitely cannot be him. Let's say it's not us, as the so-called minorities on earth, even though we're the majority, right? But in America, you call the minority Mexicans, blacks, Native Americans, Hispanics in general, right? Who else is it gonna be? Filipinos? They're not shunned in America. like a Mexican is, right? Like a nigga is. They're not shunned. So Second Esdras, 5th chapter, is a very powerful book. It answers a lot of questions, right? Let me read on. Verse 7. And the Sodomitic sea shall cast out fish. Now, that text right there, that sentence, right, with the comma, it tells me the tribe of Benjamin, it has to be the Jamaicans, right? It has to be the West Indians. Because this is metaphorical. The Sodomitic sea shall cast out fish. Any of my Jamaican brethren, they always call a homosexual a fish. Mine is a fish them. Mine fish. You know what I mean? That's what Benjamin lingo, that's what they known for, right? So when I read the Bible, I know it's my people. I know that for a fact, right? And when I read it with the lens that it's my people, I get way more understanding, right? Because I read that in a Jamaican accent when I read it, right? And I got a way better understanding of what the text was going into. But let's go into the Most High's favorites, right? Verse 24. I'll start at 23. And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one only vine, right? And of all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily. And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, and of all builded cities, thou hast hollowed Sion unto thyself. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle thou art made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. Right? Why is this important? Because it's showing you the Most High is a separatist, right? It's showing you that he has a favorite, right? And it's okay to have favorites. That's all right. It's giving you the freedom to have a favorite, right? Because in this society, they make you feel like everybody has to be equal, and that's not so, right? Amongst men and women, of course, a man is not equal to a woman. A man, I'm not bleeding on every month, right, and going through mood swings because of it, right? I'm not pushing my woman out in the front when it's time for me to smite the robber that comes in my home, right? And even amongst a man, a 7'6" guy is not equal to a 5'9" guy. It's just not so, right? One smack and he's toast. He's on the ground. A skinny guy is not equal to a fat guy, right? He's not gonna run as fast as the skinny guy. The skinny guy is not gonna be as strong as the fat guy. So this sense of equality, it removes having a favorite, right? Or having favor on something. You shouldn't feel bad about that. That's okay. That's your right, right? Forget American rights. That's your human right. That's your right as a man, as an Israelite man, to have favor, right? Look at Jacob. He had a favorite wife, and the Most High bless Leah with kids, because he's seen that she wasn't getting as much favor, right? So let's keep reading on. And of all the fowls that are created, thou hast named thee one dove, and of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep. And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all. So this law is also the favorite, the best, the chosen law above all the laws of the land, right? This is the standard. So every other nation has to take from this law, because this is the best one that's ever been put out, right? It's coming from the creator of heaven and earth, right? So now Edris he's going to ask a question that he's been meditating on to the Lord. And he asks, and now, O Lord, why hast thou given this one people over unto many? And upon the one root hast thou prepared others? And why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Right? Also showing you that it can only be talking about the dispersed, right? And who has been dispersed more than blacks, natives, and Latinos, right? Doesn't matter where you go, right? And I've been to plenty of places, right? And I plan to go to more as far as countries. And when I tell you there's Israelites in Thailand and Japan, because I've been there, there's Israelites everywhere. We are definitely scattered, right? Talking about beautiful Israelite women in Japan, right? Where their father was an Israelite, they happen to be in the military, right? And they just lost their way. We're lost, right? As a people, as a nation. So the Lord answers. I'm not going to go into the whole 5th chapter because Edris has a lot of good questions, right? And the angel of the Lord, he basically I don't want to say shuns, but he asks him questions that he has not the answer to. Because Edris basically asks, why hast thou scattered thy only one people among many? Right? So the angel of the Lord says, and I said, speak on, my Lord. Then said he unto me, thou art sore troubled in mind for Israel's sake. Lovest thou that people better than he that made them? And I said, no, Lord, but of very grief have I spoken, for my reins pain me every hour, while I labor to comprehend the way of the Most High, and to seek out part of his judgment. Right? And he said, verse 36, and he said unto me, number me the things that are not yet come. Gather me together the dross that are scattered abroad. Make me the flowers green again that are withered. Right? Open me the places that are closed, and bring me forth the winds that in them are shut up. Show me the image of a voice. Now that made me pause, because it's like, that's amazing. Right? The image of a voice. Of course, Edris can't show you that. But I would have not even thought of that if I haven't read the book of 2nd Edris, right? That there's an image of a voice, right? And then I will declare thee the thing that thou laborest to know. Right? And I said, O Lord, verse 38, and I said, O Lord, that bearest rule, who may know these things but he that have not his dwelling with men? Right? Only the Lord. This Iraq tells you to not worry about things that are above thy understanding. Don't worry about these things. Only the Lord can. But it's funny how this question is answered in the chapter before, right? 2nd Edris chapter 4 and verse 28. But as concerning the things whereof thou asked me, I will tell thee. For the evil is sown, but the destruction thereof is not yet come. Right? So our ancestors have done so many wrongs, right? But the reward for that wrong, it hasn't come yet, right? The evil is pretty much still getting sown, right? It's purging itself out, so to speak, right? We have to go through this to understand evil, so we do it no more. So it shall be no more, right? Verse 29, if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, and if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, fire, then cannot it come that is sown with good. So until all of these evil deeds is out of our system, right? These prophecies come to pass. The new heaven and new earth, it cannot come, right? Until these things take place. So hopefully that answered some questions. And I just want to give all praises to the Most High, call her Lord Yahweh, by Shema Mashek Yahushai, and say Shalom.